All right, Coach. 1-1 start to start the season. How do you feel so far with the first two games?
I thought we learned a lot about ourselves opening weekend. That's kind of how college basketball goes. I want to start with what a incredible weekend for our athletic department. I mean, soccer conference champs, football clinches conference champs, volleyball goes 2-0. Chuck wins his 400th game. Alicia Ellis's women's basketball team goes 2-0. So just an incredible weekend. And we tell our guys in recruiting, we try to surround ourselves with like-minded people. And that's our coaches, that's our student athletes. And so, I think it's great for our players to see other teams succeed as well and understand the expectations of Angelo State. And I think along the lines with that, our guys learned that opening night is New Mexico Highlands really got up for our game opening night, and hats off to them for beating us. That is not the team that we have this year, and I was really frustrated by that opening night. I didn't think we competed at a high level. I thought our effort lacked in a lot of areas of the game, and it really challenged them Saturday morning for that to change Saturday, and I thought Saturday looked more like what I'm hoping we're going to see this year. To go in and beat Fort Lewis, who's nationally ranked on their home floor, was exciting, and I was really proud of our guys for bouncing back. Our message to them was character's who you are in the dark, and we were under some adversity after losing opening night, and it showed the true character of our guys of being able to bounce back in an even tougher game for the second game. So I was really proud about that, but disappointed we're not 2-0. I'm not going to lie about that, because I really felt like going into that weekend we would have the opportunity to do that. We just didn't get it done. So hats off to New Mexico Highlands for that.
Coach, you were shooting going back to the first game, you were shooting 66% first half, dropped all the way down to 27% in the second half. Is your philosophy something where you want to create better open shots to kind of get back that momentum, or are you trying to just shoot through a drought at some point to kind of just continue getting the baskets? What's your philosophy?
We don't really look at it like that. We're a team. We're going to take team shots, and we're going to take good shots. My 2 years here, we've been towards the top of the league in field goal percentage every year. If you look at our stats right now, we're number one in the league through the first weekend in field goal percent and second in three-point percent. So we're getting the shots we want to take. It's just we got to make them. And I think you're seeing some of those go in and some of them not, because we got some new guys, if you haven't noticed. They're still learning what we're trying to do. We got one guy back that started last year in Shamar Smith. I have a couple guys that played some reserve roles, but very limited, and then 10 new guys. And that's not an excuse, that's just the reality of this thing right now. And so we got a lot we're trying to figure out as quick as possible, and I think we're starting to understand where shots are coming from, and I think that's why we're shooting the ball so well. I mean, Carvel T-Set is 60% from three through opening weekend, and he has shot it that well even in our scrimmages. So, I think our guys are figuring out where they're coming from. Now it's just a matter of getting in the gym and repping them and figuring out which shots go for each guy. And I think role definition is probably the hardest for any team, especially when you got a bunch of new guys. We get guys from all over the country, and I think every team, I don't care what sport you're playing, deals with it is, everyone wants to be the person, be the guy, or be the woman if it's a girl sport. But everyone wants to be that person, and unfortunately you can't have that many chiefs in the kitchen, or that many cooks in the kitchen. And so for us, it's, hey, understanding role definition. What guys do we need to score? What guys do we need to pass? What guys do we need to rebound? What guys do we need to defend? And I think as we continue to clear up that role definition, you're going to see some pretty good play out of this team.
Coach, you already kind of mentioned it already. Carvel Tisa leading your team early on in scoring, 21 in game one, 19 in game two. Kind of talk about the impact he's had for your team early on.
I wish I could tell you I'm shocked, but I'm not. From the day our season ended a year ago, him and Kendrick Delahousse have lived in the gym. Carvel stayed here all summer and worked out with our strength coach. He's in the gym right now with KD right now. This morning after coming back from a long road trip. He put in 8 months of work to get the results he's getting right now. So you're not shocked. That's a kid that had scope, and we talk about scope in our program. He put in work 8 months ago to get the results now. And so I'm really proud of what he's doing, but I'm not shocked by it, because when we signed the kid a year ago, we told him, hey, our goal, we had KK Godwin back a year ago. We had a feeling he was going to be preseason player of the year, and we were very transparent in recruiting, where we told him, hey, we want you to come in, learn from this kid, and in a year, this could be you. And that was clearly communicated when we signed him, so he knew he was coming into a reserve role a year ago. And it's what you don't see a lot in athletics right now is someone that trusted the process. You know, he didn't get frustrated coming off the bench. He didn't get frustrated having a reserve role a year ago. He put in the work, and now he's seeing the benefit of that, you know. And I hope we can see that with some other guys on our roster as well. As, you know, we live in a society right now where everybody wants instant gratification, and they want to come in and see results right away, and that's just not a reality. And, you know, I'm really proud of him for having that scope, because I think for young people it's really hard to have that kind of scope in athletics.
And then you mentioned an answer early on, role definition, one of the things you really want to hammer with these guys. Is there anything else that you've taken from the first weekend of action that you want to really put a lot more focus on in practice prior to your home opener?
Well, I think you can see our depth. I mean, if you look at game 2, I think the high minute guy on our team was 22 minutes. And or 24 by DeMons was the highest for a forward, 22 for a guard was the highest we had. We played 11 guys double-digit minutes in the second game, and we needed all of them. And I think that's going to be the strength of this team, is we got the ability to be that deep. We are 10, 11 deep. I don't think there's a huge drop-off. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing right now. That either means, hey, we got a chance to be good, or that means we got a chance to be really average this year. You know, and that's what we're still finding out now. I thought that's what helped us win game 2, is when we had to go to guys 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Our guys in that role were better than Fort Lewis's guys when they guys came off the bench. And I thought our second unit beat Fort Lewis's, and that's what got us the win. You know, we had 6 guys with 2 fouls in the first half, and so we had 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the floor in the last 6 minutes of the first half, and we had the lead going into half. And because we trust those guys just as much as we do our top guys. But I'll tell you, that's how we run our program. You know, we coach everybody hard. We have high expectations for everyone on our team. We coach everybody the same, and it's because we don't know when we're going to need them. And so I credit those guys for being ready when their number was called. You know, Blessing Adeshape played 3 minutes opening night, and then he's in the last 6 minutes of the game for us, helping us cap off that second win for us. And so, you know, being ready in those avenues and taking criticism and constructive criticism at that. He did not play a great game 1. He was huge for us in game 2, late in the first half and second half. And we don't win that game without him. And so going from 3 minutes to double-digit wins, and he gets 3 dunks in that span in the game 2, you know, it's just awesome to see. And it's just, you hope your players have an understanding that early in the year there's some bumps, there's some learning curve, especially with the new guys. And if they stick with it, good things can happen. So I'm hoping that depth is a strength for us this year, but, you know, that remains to be seen.
A little over a week at home against Arlington Baptist, and then you guys are back on the road again. How do you feel about these upcoming matchups?
You know, I'm glad we got some time to clean up some stuff. We basically, our staff said after game 2 is we got 2 tapes in 9 days. And so we got to clean up a lot of mistakes in 9 days to get ready for Arlington Baptist. But it's more about us. I can tell you that more than anything. I'd say it again, that was not our team. I just told Coach Ellis that when we were talking earlier that I saw on Friday. That did not look like a team that we have had here for the last 3 years. And I was highly frustrated by that. Game 2 looked more like us. Now we got to find some consistency, and we got to be that team more. And so we got 9 days to figure out why that team showed up on Friday and how we can prevent that team from showing up again. Because if we want to be any good this year, you know, we're going to have to hang our hat on the defensive end. And scoring 83 points and losing that game is unacceptable in our program. That just should not happen. And, you know, I've said that since the day I've been here. We're going to hang our hat on that defensive end of the floor. So that's what we're going to work on these next 9 days is how can we be better. Every scrimmage we've had, everything we've done, we've scored over 80 points. Game 2, we slowed it down, ran more sets and tried to control it. We said as a staff there's no way we can come back 0-2 from this trip. So we tried to control things a little bit more on our end. Game 2, which kind of led to having a lower scoring game. But until we figure out how to defend at the level we need to defend, that's the kind of basketball we're going to play. We'll make the changes we need to as a staff to get the results we want to. But there's a certain style we want to play. We want to play up-tempo, but we want to defend while we're playing up-tempo. And if we can't do that, then we're going to slow it down and run sets and control the pace. So, you know, for our end, it's going to be whatever it takes to win. And so what I can tell you over this next 9 days is we're going to figure out who we are before we hit the floor again. And that's going to be our biggest goal.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.